Have you ever felt like your carnivore or keto diet just stopped working? The scale slows down, your ketones drop, your energy changes, your bowel habits get weird, and suddenly you start thinking, did I break my metabolism? Am I doing this wrong? Why does everyone online look amazing except me? Well, today, I want to help calm some of those fears, because in many cases, you are not failing, your body is adapting. And honestly, that adaptation process may look messy before it starts looking magical. So today we're going to walk through the most common things that scare people on carnivore and keto, why they happen, when they're normal, when they are not normal, and what you can do about them. And I want this video to become something bigger than just me talking. I want this community to become a problem-solving team. So early in this video, I want you to comment below. What was the hardest part of adapting to carnivore or keto for you? Because somebody reading your comment may avoid quitting because of your experience. And trust me, that matters. Because I just saw a patient recently who found me through YouTube. And one of the biggest frustrations they had was that nobody around them understood the unique challenges of eating low carb or carnivore. Their doctor didn't understand it. Their family didn't understand it. And sometimes even online communities oversimplify the process. So let's work through this together. Now let's start with the thing that scares people the most, the dreaded plateau. You lose 15 pounds, 20 pounds, maybe even 40 pounds. Then suddenly, nothing. The scale just sits there like it's on vacation. And many people panic at this stage. But here's the truth. Your body is not a calculator. It's a survival machine. When you lose weight rapidly, your body notices. And one thing that happens is something called adaptive thermogenesis. In simple terms, your body becomes more energy efficient. You're carrying less body mass. Hormones begin shifting. Sometimes movement unconsciously decreases. Your body is trying to figure out, okay, are we starving or are we healing? That's one reason plateaus happen. Another reason, inflammation and water retention can temporarily mask fat loss. And here's the crazy part. Sometimes your body composition is improving even when the scale is not. This is why I always tell people, don't marry the scale. Date it casually. Okay, maybe don't date the scale at all. That relationship gets toxic quickly. Now, another thing people notice is my ketones dropped. This one creates massive fear online. People start acting like ketones are a high school GPA. Bro, I was a 3.5 yesterday and now I'm only a 1.1. Listen carefully. Higher ketones do not automatically mean better results. Sometimes lower ketones can actually reflect improved adaptation. Early on, your body may overproduce ketones because it's inefficient at using fat for fuel. But as your mitochondria adapt, your muscles and brain may begin using ketones more efficiently, meaning fewer circulating ketones remain in the blood. That's not always failure. That can actually reflect better fuel utilization. This is one reason I personally don't obsess over ketone numbers as a carnivore doctor. I care more about how you feel, inflammation, waist circumference, energy, cravings, sleep, metabolic markers, and overall health. Now let's talk about one of the least glamorous topics on YouTube, bathroom changes. Because nothing says welcome to carnivore like suddenly analyzing your poop like it's a scientific experiment. Some people get constipated, others get diarrhea. Some people panic because they're going less often. Here's what's important to understand. If you remove fiber in ultra-processed foods, your stool volume naturally decreases. That does not automatically mean constipation. There may simply be less waste. Your body is absorbing more of what you eat. Now, diarrhea early on can happen too, especially if fat intake increases rapidly. Bowel production is still adapting. Electrolytes are off. Magnesium supplements are excessive. Or someone is combining carnivore with artificial sweeteners and keto junk foods. And yes, sometimes people are eating enough fat to lubricate a tractor engine. Your gallbladder may need a minute to process all of that. Now, if severe symptoms persist, that's different. That's when you evaluate gallbladder issues, pancreatic function, infections, medications, thyroid, stress, food intolerances, or other medical conditions. This is where nuance matters. Not everything is adaptation, but not everything is failure either. Now let's talk about energy crashes. This one catches people off guard. Many people start keto or carnivore expecting to feel like a Marvel superhero by Wednesday. Then instead, they feel tired, foggy, weak, and irritated. Sometimes they're so irritable their family wants them back on donuts immediately. A huge reason for this is electrolytes. When insulin drops, your kidneys release sodium. And when sodium shifts, potassium and magnesium often shifts too. That's why some people experience headaches, dizziness, fatigue, muscle cramps, heart palpitations, brain fog. This is one reason low-carb and carnivore people often need more sodium than they were told previously, especially early on. And another thing happening, your mitochondria are adapting to a different fuel source. Think of it like switching a city from gasoline to solar energy overnight. That transition period can feel clunky before it becomes efficient. Now, another thing people experience is disrupted sleep, especially waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling like they just received a spiritual assignment. This can happen for several reasons. Cortisol shifts, stress hormones, under-eating, excessive fasting, electrolyte imbalance, or simply being too metabolically stimulated early on. Sometimes people accidentally combine keto, fasting, overtraining, calorie restriction, and caffeine overload, then wonder why their nervous system is filing complaints. Your body still needs safety signals. Healing does not mean punishment. And this is why I want people to stop comparing themselves to influencers online. Some people adapt in 2 weeks, some in 2 months. Some need modifications. And some people discover underlying issues they never knew existed until they clean up their diet. That doesn't mean the diet caused the issue. Sometimes removing processed foods removes the noise and finally allows us to hear what the body was trying to say all along. Now, somewhere around this point in the video, if this is helping you, hit the like button and subscribe, because my goal is to help people problem solve through these challenges instead of quitting too early. And honestly, the comments section on this channel has become one of the most valuable parts of this community. People helping people. And that matters. Now, before we finish, I need to say something very important. There is a difference between adaptation and genuine medical danger. Please don't ignore persistent chest pain, severe weakness, fainting, ongoing vomiting, significant unintended weight loss, severe depression, major electrolyte abnormalities, or dangerously elevated glucose levels. And if you're taking insulin, sulfonylureas, or blood pressure medications, you absolutely should work with a clinician who understands low-carb physiology. Medication adjustments matter. This is not just about food, this is physiology. But for many people, the uncomfortable middle phase is exactly where healing begins. Your hormones are recalibrating. Your mitochondria are adapting. Inflammation is shifting. Insulin levels are changing. Appetite signaling is changing. And sometimes the body gets uncomfortable before it gets better. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means something is happening. So before you quit, pause, learn, adjust, problem solve, and lean into community. Now I want you to comment below. What symptom or struggle almost made you quit keto or carnivore? And what helped you push through? Because somebody else may need your advice more than you realize. And if you want to continue learning how to improve your metabolic health using real-world clinical insight, consider checking out this video right here or subscribing to my channel right here. Thank you for coming to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.